You're listening to the Still Talking Morning Show on Real Country, WCAZ. On the line now via Zoom, I have a man with over 100 million albums sold and 50 charted singles, UB40's drummer, Jimmy Brown. Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I didn't know we had that many singles, but there you
I
go.
looked. It's in your bio.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I couldn't name them, I'm sure, but yeah, we've done very well over the years, I must admit.
I would 50 charted singles. I would say absolutely you did,
It's not bad, is it?
and not bad at all.
Uh,
You're celebrating your 45th anniversary with the tour and your new album UB45, which I thought was super clever. I like that UB45.
it was obvious, really, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. And you're going to be performing locally here, close to our audience area, at the Rhythm City Casino, Saturday, July 13th at 8 p.m. Again, very exciting stuff. Did you ever imagine when you started out that you would have this longevity?
Absolutely not. I mean, how can you even think that far ahead? I mean, we were only in our early 20s when we started, so it was you don't even think about being alive in 45 years' time,
Exactly.
let alone still being successful. But yeah, I mean, it's been a dream come true, really, for us, and we've enjoyed every second of it, and we pinch ourselves every day, and kind of very grateful for the for the success that we've had.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up. I didn't realize you guys started out in the late '70s. I mean, I grew. I'm an '80s kid, and definitely grew up listening to. I mean, Red Wine and Can't Help Falling in Love were mega hits over here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just remember again growing up a kid, I was a fan. Definitely, we had your cassette off the top 40 and all that good stuff. But I didn't realize like then. I mean, obviously I realize it now because I'm more experienced at life. But I didn't realize then that it was even a reggae sound. I just thought I'm like, hey, this is different and it's good.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I think one thing, it was a bit of a stroke of genius, I suppose, choosing the genre of reggae, although reggae chose us rather than the other way around because we lived in an area where there was a lot of Jamaican immigrants, and those were the people, the first sort of generation of Black British that were born
Hmm.
in Britain. They were our schoolmates, and we were surrounded by the music, and I think it was good because in the end, we don't sound like an 80s band. There's a lot of
Exactly.
80s
Yeah.
bands, whether it's Duran Duran, Specials, or whatever, we don't sound like that because the genre of music has got a timelessness to it that fits in any genre and always sounds kind of fresh, I think, and
I
I
would
think we
agree.
still
Yeah.
sound fresh. And yeah, certainly choosing reggae's become an international style of music. You find reggae bands everywhere, and the reach of our music has gone to some places I didn't even know existed. So we've been phenomenally successful. Not that you notice, I suppose, when you're in the middle of it, but
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but when we go to somewhere like Samoa, which is about as far as you can go from England without coming back on yourself, and there 20,000 people turn up and they're singing your songs, you realize how far the music has gone, and how profound that is because it breaks down all kinds of barriers. And, we're a multicultural band. We believe in multiculturalism, and we think it works.
I think a great thing about, I mean, I like streaming and I don't like streaming. It's we have a complicated fight there, but the streaming has brought you even farther. You're getting new fans every day through, Spotify and those other people that have that music out there.
Yeah, we have tens of millions of hits, every year. 100 million hits on YouTube for Red, 200, over 200 million for Red Wine, I think. Over 100 million for Can't Help Falling in Love. We've probably got 100 million for a version of Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain that we were talking about earlier, when we did a country reggae album a couple of albums ago. And now it's phenomenal, not that I think the artists are given quite the reward they deserve,
I said it's
of
good and
course.
bad. Yeah, good and bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think, that in the end, the rise of technology and the internet has been a democratizing thing for music, and anybody has access now to distribution or even to record. It would cost a couple of $1,000 a day to record back
Hmm.
in the day when we first started, but for less than that, you can buy your own program for a computer that's just like a recording studio, and anybody can make a record in their bedroom and has the chance of becoming a hit, you know. So I think there's good and bad. You know, it's destroyed the record business
I'm sure,
to a
yeah.
degree, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
But it keeps you fresh and in their minds, which is great when you go out on tour, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, the thing is that even though technology has affected the record business, it hasn't really had that much effect on live. You know, you still turn up, entertain, get paid, break everything down, and move to the next town. That's been going on for 1,000 years, and that's where we are at our best, I think, when we're treading the boards and we're performing live, and that's what we like doing the most.
Yeah, it's probably the most rewarding. You get that instant gratification. I'm sure when red wine comes on, it just explodes.
Yeah, of course it does, and everybody sings along, and we encourage that, you know. And you can see why Hollywood stars want to be in bands, because obviously they're not getting that
Yeah,
instant gratification that a musician will get when he's performing live, you know. And that is something that can't be replaced. And I feel so, you know, proud of the fact that I'm involved in this band for so long, and that we've had the opportunity to do it for so many years.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would love it. I mean, I love it when someone on the street, you know, is like, "Hey, I heard you this morning." You know, I
Yeah,
immediately get a little bit hyped up. Not to
yeah.
your level, not to your level. But let's go back a little bit to the start. You broke in and toured with another pretty popular band, or I think so anyway, Chrissie Hynde and the Pretenders. What was that like?
Yeah, well, we'd done about 30 shows. It wasn't long after the band actually formed, you know. We'd done about 30 shows in little pubs, little tiny clubs, you know, and we were playing this toilet of a venue in London
Yeah.
called the Rock Garden, which is actually an iconic venue. We didn't really know at the time, but anyway, it was a great gig, and afterwards we got into some kind of fight with the security, and suddenly Chrissie Hynde popped her head round the dressing room door and gone, "Can I come in, guys?" And we've gone, "Yeah," you know. We recognised her straight away. She had a number one single, a number one album at the time, and a sold out tour. And she's gone, "Do you guys want to come and open for me on my tour?" And we've gone, "Not half, of course
Yes.
we
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
yeah," you know, and jumped at the chance. And by the time we'd finished that tour, we had a hit record of our own, and we did exactly the same tour again, only we were headlining. Well, we will be eternally grateful to Chrissie. We've stayed great friends over the years, sort of fairly recently, and she's just we'll always feel grateful to Chrissie. She's a lovely lady.
Absolutely. She even sings on your cover of "I Got You, Babe."
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize it was her.
She claims it was her idea, and
Yeah.
we claim it was our idea. But whichever way, it was just kind of, I mean, it was kind of audacious, covering such a iconic tune. And I wouldn't like to say that we've done a better version than Sonny and Cher, but we redefined, I think, the song for our own purposes, and it worked. You know, it was a massive hit around the world, and yeah, we'll be forever grateful for that.
Yeah, definitely. And those two songs, both iconic, I think. But your set, like, sometimes when people cover, they just kind of try to do the same thing that the other person did. You guys kind of took it and ran with it and made it more, well, not made it more, you made it exactly your sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we seem to be able to do that. We did the same with the Elvis song "Can't Help Falling in Love," you know, which was another massive hit for us. And yeah, I think when you apply the rules of reggae music to other genres, then it kind of it sounds very, very different. And you know, like we "Can't Help Falling in Love," that's got like a 5/3 timing, and we completely changed that. Not that anybody, most people who are
Yeah.
in, you know, would care about that, but it slowed down the delivery of the song and made it sound kind of really different to the original, you know. And yeah, it's something we like to do. It's not, I mean, we like writing our own music too, but it's fun to have a go at some iconic songs which we've done over the
Yeah,
years.
absolutely. And I didn't know. Okay, so I knew the Elvis thing, of course. Everybody knows Elvis always. I didn't know that Red Red Wine was a cover of a Neil. I didn't even know Neil Diamond. I've never even heard it. Neil Diamond sings that song.
Neither did we. We had no idea it was anything to do with Neil Diamond. We knew it as a reggae tune that was a popular hit in the very early 70s. It was a very big tune in the reggae field, in the reggae circuit. And it was actually recorded in England by a Jamaican artist, Tony Tribe, I think his name was. And when we saw on the credits N Diamond as the writer, we got, it must be Negus Diamond or something, But it turned out it was Neil Diamond. We had no idea. We only found out after we did the cover version, which was a surprise. But hey, he's a great songwriter.
I 100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really on our radar, but you got to respect him for being such a good songwriter.
Absolutely. And we were talking about covers just a second ago, but UB40 is very famous for covers, but you have a huge catalog with dozens of, original albums and hundreds of original songs. What are a couple of your favorite songs, or your originals that you perform out and about?
Well, I'm very proud of a track we did called Sing Our Own Song, which we actually wrote specifically for the ANC while Mandela was in jail in South Africa. Yeah. And we were, I think, the first band to go over there as soon as the cultural boycott was dropped and Mandela was released from jail. We were straight over there to do some shows, and we played to nearly 200,000 people over 2 or 3 nights in a stadium, and they were all singing the song to us because it had the ANC chant of Mandela away too in the song, and it was really hair on the back of your neck sticking up time for us, and we felt like we were rubbing shoulders a bit with history. So that was a very significant song for us, written by Robin, our guitarist and vocalist and songwriter. He's written others as well, and that's to me probably our best international.
That's
song.
Pretty amazing, like you said, to be a part of history like that. That's got to be, the people that went when the Berlin Wall came down and all. David Hasselhoff, I don't get it, but good for them, but it's amazing to be, you get it.
Slightly bizarre, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. Like we know him as Knight Rider, not a singer over here.
Exactly, yeah.
But amazing to be a part of that history. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's I think we still hold the record for the biggest live audience ever in South Africa, and it was a phenomenal time, But then there's also, there's I wrote a song called 1 in 10, which was a big hit in England at the time, quite a political song about unemployment and about the way politicians use statistics to cover up, the individual heartache of individual people that are having to put up with the consequences of decisions made by politicians and people in power, and that was a big hit in England, and it kind of defined an era, and it caught the zeitgeist, as they say, and I'm quite proud of that it was speaking for a lot of people when we did that song. Over the years, but also I enjoy new material. Working on new stuff is always the best. People say, "What's your favourite song of your own?" Well, what we've just been working on, UB45. There are 7 new tracks on that, and 5 of them are originals, band originals, and I'm very proud of those.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of musicians, and over time, I'll always, try to generically ask, what's your favorite, song, and they'll say that, kind of like you just said, it changes over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. And, like I said, always the latest thing you're working on is the one that you're giving the most attention to and the one you feel most excited about because you're actually working on it or you've just finished it. And, I think that's the way. And we don't want to be just a heritage band or a cabaret band playing hits and then going home. We still want to be playing new material that the audience are unfamiliar with. We're not going to hit them over the head with it, but we're going to put in quite a few tunes that probably people won't have heard before. But we'll be playing the hits too. So they shouldn't get too worried.
But that's, I mean, the new music, I mean, to me, I'm not a musician. I wasn't gifted with talent. I just talk a whole bunch, and they're like, here, you can be on a radio. But that is really going to keep you going. That's probably the UB45, the whole thing. That's what's kept you going this long.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, obviously half of the album is old material that we've re-recorded um, with our new boy who's been with us for 3 years now. And yeah, it's and we wanted to make that connection between all those old tunes and the new ones. So there's 7 old tracks and 7 brand new ones that have never been heard before. And yeah, we wanted to make that connection between the old band and the new band that's still working.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we go here, I just got one last question. And well, it's probably not an easy one. It's probably hard. But what's changed for you as you've toured over the years? I'm sure millions of things have changed. But what are some of the biggest things that you've noticed?
Okay, it's got easier. We were very nervous in the beginning. We had a hit really early on, and we'd only been playing our instruments for less than a year.
That's amazing.
And that, like, we were just literally learning in public. And those first shows, which were in front of sometimes tens of thousands of people, were scary.
I bet.
I don't remember much about them. We just sort of like made our way through it, and hoped that nothing was going to go wrong. But over the years, we've learned what we're doing. We're confident on stage now. I don't get nervous. I look forward to it, and we've actually grown together as a bunch of people and a band over the years. It's actually, we're not like other bands where they can't stand the sight of each other. And
I was just going to say the animosity's not there.
there's a lot of that in those old bands, where the only time to see each other is when they're on stage. They travel separately and stay in separate hotels. But we love being together. We're a family, we enjoy being in each other's company, and which is good because on the road, last time we were there in America, we did 22,000 miles on the bus.
Wow.
So the people you're sharing that bus with, you've got to feel quite happy and comfortable in their company, and that's exactly how we are. We have a good time. We love each other. We've all got families that know each other, and it's just a big family and a big celebration, really.
Well, that is amazing. Definitely. Again, you see there was I won't say the band, but there was on Hulu. There was a show about a pretty big band from the '80s and '90s, and they had a lot of bumps, and I think there's a lot of ego there that caused a lot of issues. And
yeah, I mean, we've been through it. We've been through it ourselves. Obviously, our first singer left 15 years ago now, and we're still dealing with the fallout from that to some degree. But we've done, we've clawed our way back to where we were and further on from where we were before our singer left. So the success we're getting now feels good because we've earned it ourselves, and we feel we have a right now to say, yeah, we've been successful over those years.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join me. I super appreciate it. You're a super nice guy. Great interview. I appreciate that.
No, listen, I appreciate it as well. You asked some decent questions, and yeah, I thank you for having us on, and thank you for promoting our music. We really appreciate that too.
Well, I mean, it was a treat for me, for sure, to get to play some of the stuff that I'm really into. But continued luck and longevity in your guys' careers, and good luck. You can catch UB40 at the Rhythm City Casino Saturday, July 13th at 8 p.m. if you're locally on here listening. But again, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're listening to the Still Talking Show on Real Country, WCAZ.